All right, good afternoon. Obviously, disappointing week for our program, and we're not going to hide from that fact. Just thought it was kind of a tale of two different games. We've been using this word a lot recently, is urgency with our team, and obviously, I think against VMI, I thought we lacked some urgency in terms of really defensive issues and defensive presence. But at the end of the day, we lacked it there. And the funny thing about urgency, it kind of goes in the same line of you want to be urgent, but you don't want to panic. And I thought at Furman, I thought we had great urgency. I thought we came out. I thought we were really ready to guard. Unfortunately, they made a couple tough shots, and the urgency turned to panic. And so when you want a group to play really hard and be connected and be urgent, you run the risk of panic. And I thought at Furman, we battled back. We got it to within 7. But we dug ourselves such a hole in that first half. Really with them playing some great offense, making some tough shots, that we allowed the game to kind of get out of hand. And then you follow that up with Saturday, just to be honest, give them a lot of credit. They're playing good basketball right now. Significantly different VMI team than any that I can remember. So give them a ton of credit. But I thought our guys lacked urgency out the get-go and again, had a chance to win it late. But I think our guys know we're much more capable than probably the way we've been playing the last couple weeks, and disappointing week, but I don't think devastation is the right word. Still a lot to play with. The last time I checked, SoCon's you got to win the tournament, right? You got to win the tournament to get in the NCAA tournament. And so we've shown to be as good as anybody in this league. I think I don't know exact standings right now, but if I'm not mistaken, I think Chat and Greensboro are tied for first. Those are 2 of our wins. So to sit here and a month ago feel significantly different about our team than I do today would not be accurate. I feel like we got as good a chance anytime we go and compete that we're going to have a chance to win, and we got to find we got to find that confidence back. We got to get out of this rut, and how do you do it? Do it day by day. And I said it last Monday. I thought we had a great Monday practice. Didn't turn into a win. I know we were physical today. I know we were urgent. I know we've got a group that's going in every day and trying to find solutions instead of excuses. And kind of line I always use with our guys, whatever you're looking for, you'll find. And we got guys right now, I think they're looking for solutions. They're not looking for excuses. They're not happy with the results right now. But I think they understand that there's a lot more basketball to be played. We've shown to be a really good basketball team, and we got to get back to finding out how to do that. And no better chance. And this is a good thing. I love football, but the thing about football, when you lose, you got to wait a whole week. With basketball, you get that taste out of your mouth. Hopefully we get that Wednesday at Citadel. So that I'll open it up for questions.
It's like you said, you don't want to hide from a disappointing week. 5 losses. What are you doing as a coach in the locker room? On the floor is one thing. Like you talked about the attitude of the guys. How are you maintaining that? How are you telling them more basketball?
Well, I think, like I said, it's no secret. The guys know we're not playing our best basketball. So it's really analyzed. It's speaking in facts versus feelings, right? Everyone feels a certain way about what's going on. But the facts are, we went 3 of 24 from 3 against VMI. This is a league that if you go 3 of 24, it's going to be hard to beat a lot of teams. So could we have just made a couple more buckets and found a way to win, and then that builds confidence? Absolutely. But I think the message to the group is, similar to what Coach said, we're trying to get 1% better every day. And I think maybe helping organize our guy, what does that 1% look like for the rest of the year, whether it's off-ball awareness, whether it's sitting down and guarding the basketball, whether it's having some confidence to make a shot, whether it's a free throw. I think everyone, in our program, myself included, has something they can get better at for the next 2 weeks. And I think if we collectively do that, I think we're going to be a heck of a team, hard team to beat up in Asheville.
You're still getting strong games from your marquee guys. Jaws playing well also, but is there anyone you want more involved that you think could be a spark plug, kind of get out of the rut?
Yeah, I think obviously we've had some different injuries, some different factors, and we haven't had that great consistent rotation yet. That's the truth. I think Marcus Overstreet's a guy that's coming on really strong. Feel great going to the bench with him, but it's really not one or 2 guys. I think it's just a collection of when you're and I've said it multiple times this year, when your number's called, you got to be ready. And I think with some of the factors we've had, we just got to continue being ready when that number's called, and it could look different versus Citadel than it did VMI, than it does for whoever else is on the schedule. But I think it's really the collection of guys understanding what we're asking them to do and trying to do that at the highest of their abilities.
Last thing for me, I think, is you've talked a lot about, process-oriented instead of results-oriented. What part of the process do you think will benefit you guys most in the tournament? You talked a lot about that's when you want to play your best basketball, right? So how are you going to bring that out?
Yeah, I think, who was it? Monty Williams said everything you're looking for is on the other side of hard. Okay, this is hard, and you're going to find out who's hard enough to handle these times. We got a couple dudes that are really mentally tough in that locker room. We got a couple guys that we're finding and we're revealing character that's going to help us long term. But it's no secret, like, we're in a hard spot, right? So I think the guys that can make it out of here and stay together and stay connected, stay tough. I think you're going to have that group of guys that are going to be really tough to beat. Now, again, I'm not making excuses. Here's the truth, man. I sit up here, whatever, it's 11, 12, 13 years as a head coach, like lost games by 51, lost games by 28. We've been on 6, 7, 8 game losing streaks. There's nothing in that locker room that our staff can't handle or hasn't encompassed. The truth is we're not playing our best basketball. We got good dudes. They're trying to do what's right. They're good ambassadors of our university. Like, we're going to get it fixed. We're going to get it corrected. We got to get that thing done in the next 2 weeks to feel great going into Asheville.
You're talking about kind of having a slow start against VMI. Obviously, like you're saying, they're playing some great basketball right now. But what is it that was kind of lacking for the team? It seemed like they were attacking the basketball well. Is it like the finishing? Is it the attitude? What do you think is lacking?
I think it's two things. Whenever you make shots, your team gets real confident and you can feel better about it. The truth is, like, miss some open shots. And that, when you're mentally tough, when you're a really good basketball team, that doesn't affect you. Right now, the ball doesn't go in the hoop. We have some lack of urgency on the other side, maybe some off-ball awareness issues where, we play a defense that you got to be collectively, nobody can hide. All 5 guys got to be bought into what we're asking you to do. And I think sometimes when there's other factors, it becomes tougher to do that. And so I think that's kind of what happened, really the starts of both games is, unfortunately at Furman, they made a bunch of tough ones early and we probably didn't do a great job in our responsibilities off the ball. And then you take VMI at home, thought we had some good looks. They didn't go in the bucket. And I thought we kind of allowed that to take our foot off the gas on the defensive side of the floor.
What kind of adjustments do you try to do in game? Do you lean on your captains a little bit, or is it something that when you guys have those timeouts, what are you telling the team to kind of get them back into it?
Well, I think some things are strategic. I think it's every game. It can be different. Obviously, I think if you were at the game Saturday, saw us probably play a lot more zone than we traditionally have. Just didn't feel great about us guarding the basketball. So again, it's game by game. But I think at this particular point, you're leaning on Ahmad, you're leaning on Chip, you're leaning on Alex, Marcus, those guys that have played a lot of minutes for us. But I think each game is kind of its own entity, and you got to be willing and able to make the right adjustments.
Yeah, and as you're talking about how things can kind of spiral and people can go in different directions, but Saturday, every single time that there was a foul or there was like a little huddle, Ahmad was in there getting into him. Same thing with Chip. Do you ever, get nervous that your team leaders are having a tough time kind of getting this group together?
No.
They're the same team, like you're saying.
Yeah, I say it all the time. You walked into practice this morning and you're looking around the gym, you wouldn't know that we're on a 5-game losing streak. Again, I think they understand there's light at the end of the tunnel. If we were maxing out right now and I just said, hey guys, listen, this is as good as we can play, then I'd probably be a little worried. The fact is, this is a connected group. They're trying to fight through adversity. And when you're a young person, when you're an old person, adversity will introduce you to yourself. And I think that's the beauty of team sports is you get to find out what you're really made of. And right now, we're in a rut. We're in a tough spot. But we got guys in that locker room that they don't have the answers, but they're seeking them, and they're willing to make adjustments. And we'll get it figured out. Hopefully it's Wednesday at 7 p.m. That's the first step of figuring out. But no, I don't think there's any lack of connection or lack of buy-in.
Coach, specifically got Citadel on the road Wednesday and UNCG here. Give us the preview of what to expect and the challenge for those two teams. Yeah,
I think anytime you're going on the road, I don't care who you're playing, it's going to be a battle. Citadel's a team that's played everybody close here the last couple weeks, and they're going to be hungry for a win, especially on their home court. Then obviously you got UNCG, who I think on paper is probably one of the biggest comebacks of the year. So they're going to be hungry, ready to knock us off at home, and they're playing really good basketball. So we got our hands full this week, but I think our guys are excited to get back out and play and get this thing turned around.